Welcome back to The Process, the official breakdown of what's happening, what's working, and what's next for the National Collegiate Entertainers Group. After a brief break, we're back with some upgrades thanks to our partners at Rolling Out. For all things music, entertainment, and culture, make sure you visit rollingout.com. Over the course of the last 2 weeks, our teams have conducted auditions for the purpose of finding the best talent on each of their campuses. So for the theme of this week's show, we want to talk about teamwork. ATL living legend and super producer Jermaine Dupri was recently speaking with Sway, and he had this to say.
You can't win a game by yourself. You can't be the center and everybody else got a whole team out there. I get it. I understand going independent. But if you're going to be independent, you got to have a team. You can't be independent and just be you and your homeboy and y'all believe y'all going to win. It's people out here with full teams.
Yeah.
And you're playing against them. You're not playing against the DSP. I think that's what, these people have it confused. You're going up against somebody who has a full team. Drake has a full team around him. Kendrick Lamar has a full team on the field. You walk out there with you and your homeboy, you're going to get your ass beat. That's what I'm talking about. Bad, right? You know what I'm saying?
Historical.
That's just what it is.
Look, Jermaine Dupri is absolutely right. And this is exactly why the NCEG platform exists and why we use this platform to tell the stories of the team members that stand behind the artists that we're developing every single day. And it's not just us. This movement has been taking shape as the burden of responsibility for development and fan growth is placed more on the artists every day rather than on major labels. So on today's show, we'll highlight the active members from each of the NCEG teams, review how the scoreboard has shifted, and discuss how Kennesaw sold out their first major event while we talk to the head of A&Rs from each of the chapters. So let's get into it. We'll kick it off by talking about the numbers. At Georgia State University, membership is up by 10 for a total of 106. Instagram followers jumped by 85, now sitting at 2,222. All right, badges are climbing with 12 total earned, bringing their engagement rate up to 11.32%. At Kennesaw State University, membership is up by 7, bringing them to a total of 55. Instagram went crazy this week for 149 new followers, bringing them to a total of 2,210, really closing that gap with GSU. But, and this is the really important part, their badges are still at 2, bringing their engagement rate down to 3.64%. So let's talk about why this is important and what it means. KSU hosted their pregame event this week, which we can say contributes to their rise in followers. But the fact that they're not earning as many badges as the GSU team and GSU is starting to pull away means that we're seeing not as much teamwork happening with the KSU team. That lets us know that a lot of this activity is likely the result of maybe leaders getting involved and doing a lot of the work, whereas members aren't as aware of their positions and their roles. This is important because it will highlight and tell us what struggles this team may have as the semester continues to progress. But all in all, that takes absolutely nothing away from the major successes that this team has had over the course of the last few weeks, namely the KSU pregame show. This is a sold out event, over 800 students in attendance, and KSU got the opportunity to really introduce their new roster to their campus. This is what we mean when we say execution matters. The Owls proved that they can fill the room, get their campus hype, and set the tone. But the question still remains, based off these numbers that we're seeing, how much of it is really a team effort? Auditions have just taken place, so we're going to take some time to speak to the head of A&Rs from each of these teams and find out a little bit about what's going on and hear a little bit about their stories as aspiring industry executives. We'll be speaking with Cordell Latham from GSU and Amaya Brown from Kennesaw. Since we were just talking about Kennesaw and the results of their pregame show, we'll start with Amaya. So Amaya, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Okay, so Amaya, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you become head of A&R for the KSU chapter?
Well, I'm a public relations major at Kennesaw, minoring with the music business program. So I've always wanted to do the A&R thing, and I was a part of NCEG, like the general body, but not like on the e-board or anything like that. So I constantly communicated to them. I was like, hey, I want to do the A&R thing. And it just kind of went from there, and they were kind of curating a new e-board, and they decided to bring me on considering the fact that A&R is something that I want to pursue career-wise. So that's really how I got into it.
So what was the audition process like for you? Was this your first time doing auditions? Is there anybody who stood out to you?
Yeah, it was definitely my first time. So I didn't really know how hard to grade people because I didn't want to be like, not mean, but like, I didn't want to be like, okay, so you suck. So we're going to pick this person, you know? But I was like, it was very interesting to see what like everybody brought because it kind of opened my eyes to like what talent scouting would look like just from a basically like a smaller like a smaller sense, I guess, because with the CE auditions I was only able to make it the second day, so we had a good turnout. Like there were a lot of people, but there was such a variety of like talent. Like it was just interesting to see like how different everybody was from the other, and like it was honestly refreshing because I feel like a lot of people nowadays are like kind of chasing the same sound, but it was nice to see that everybody brought something different to the table.
So what kind of artists were you hoping to find? Like, how would you describe the musical taste at KSU?
I honestly went in there with zero like expectations. I was just hoping for someone who would like kind of catch my eye and my ear. Cause like I guess like as an artist you have to stand out physically, but obviously your music is what makes you. So I did want to see like maybe a little bit more alternative, but I also was thinking about like our audience, because the people are harsh. So I didn't want to be like, oh, let's go with this alternative artist, and people are like, what is this? What do y'all have us listening to? You know, that type of thing. But it actually worked out because we did end up with the alternative artist, Lacey. Like she sings, but it's kind of edgy. So I like her. I think I said this already, but like we have a good variety. Like we have R&B and we have rappers and we have like the popish alternative type of thing going. So I just wanted to see like a good blend. Like I didn't want everybody to be making the same kind of music.
Who stood out the most from this year's CE roster? Like, who's your personal favorite artist and like why?
My favorite artist is probably Chase. She's a singer, but she's a writer, so a lot of her stuff she writes herself. I don't know if she produces it herself though, but she writes a lot of her own stuff, so it's really poetic, and she's confident in what she does, it seems like, and the music is good. I turn it on and listen to it like on a regular day, so she's my favorite right now.
So how did the pregame event go from your perspective? Like, how was the crowd's reaction to the artists that you all were presenting?
I think we actually had a good audience this year because I was there last year and I was like in the audience, like I wasn't like on stage or anything. This year I remember being like behind the scenes and stuff, and I was like watching the crowd and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they're being good. So it was kind of like they were participating and they were listening to like the music. They were like interacting with the artists and stuff like that. So it was really good.
So what's next for the KSU chapter and your artists? How do you want to develop your roster moving forward?
I don't know yet. We have rehearsals on Thursday, so I kind of want to see how that goes because it's not just the CEs, it's also like the non-CEs, so the people who audition and everything. So I guess as far as like the non-CEs, I want to like get them to the CE point, of course. But with the current CEs, I guess just like kind of get them in the habit of making music, get them in the habit of like performing. So it's like, so it comes to them as like second nature, not like oh my gosh, I got to do this. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous I have to perform. Like I wanted everything to flow naturally. So whatever it takes to get to that point.
Anything else you'd like to share? There's some collaboration plans or something you're excited about for the future?
Oh, actually, it's something really small, but just like to your last question, I was talking with the head of audio, Spuda, he's a CE and everything, but we were talking about like matching like the artists, the CEs with producers and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that, but that was it really.
Thanks a ton, Amaya. We'll definitely be checking back in throughout the rest of the semester and seeing how the Kennesaw team is doing.
Thank you.
So now let's go over and go ahead and talk to Cordell. Cordell, how you doing?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. Happy to be talking to you.
So Cordell, tell me, how'd you first get into music? Like, what brought you to NCEG, and how did you end up becoming head of A&R?
Well, I've always loved music since I was a kid. My aunt's a music teacher, and she was the second parent in my house. Her and my mom. So I've been loving music since I was a kid, and I started producing senior year of high school. Taking it seriously, doing producing and engineering. So I was like, okay, the place to be is Atlanta. So I moved down here for college, and that's when I found out about NCEG. I saw some post on Instagram for you my freshman year, but I didn't get really like locked in on like becoming a consistent member until my last junior year. And that's when I started getting more, messed with everybody. And that's when I applied to be head of A&R because I wanted to fill a more executive role in the future. So here I am, head of A&R.
What's some of your goals as far as the industry is concerned?
I want to own my own. Right now, I'm saving up to own my own media company, music media company, that is. Long term, I want to be a label exec. I want to own my own label. I want to push people to the forefront. I want to boost other people's careers. I want to be that guy. It's like I always see myself as a coach. I always like when I wanted to do sports, right? I wanted to be a GM. I wanted to put people on. I wanted to showcase the talent that some people aren't seeing and bring it to the spotlight. So I just want to do that long term and short term. So right now I want to do it with my media company. I want to be an exec. Midterm, long term, I want to own a label.
So as far as auditions are concerned, what was your experience like leading auditions this year?
It was a lot funner than I thought it was going to be, man. It was really cool to see how much talent that I just was not exposed to on campus. I didn't know there was so much. I knew there was talent on campus, but some of the folks that we're going to be accepted onto CEs this year are insane. There's this one girl, Marae. She is like a baby Doechii. She has the flow, the charisma, the lyricism. She has it all. Dark Side. Dark Side is a beast, energetic, great flows, top tier. Then you got Gateway. Gateway, a great spitter. And his Yassine was telling me his performance skills have gotten way better from when he first auditioned freshman year. And I could tell he's natural on stage. He got on it. He came in all cool, calm, and collected. The music turned on. He turned to a whole different person. So it's great to see people get into that character like that. We got a lot of people to be excited for this year. And I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
Okay, so talking strategy, what's your plans for promoting the artist this year?
I'm going to do my very hard to make sure they get as many eyes as possible on them. And A&R's talent development and artist scouting. We're doing the scouting part together with the auditions this last week, seeing who we feel is worth that push. And I feel like we got a great crop this year, and I'm just going to do my part of trying to get them as far as possible while I'm here.
How will you use social media to kind of like build their visibility?
We're going to be having them showcase their music with any post. It's going to be the background music of any post we do. We got a wide range of subgenres. It's mostly with rap, but a wide range of like different type of rappers. So just finding our niche audience and pushing it to them, finding them, getting it to them.
All right, Cordell, thanks again, man. Is there anything else that you'd kind of like to add before we get out of here?
We're coming up.
Say less. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll check in soon, man.
See you, man.
The A&Rs are proof that this is bigger than about just being an artist. It takes leadership, collaboration, and teamwork in order to find success in this industry. So before we close out this week's show, I want to take the moment to talk about the culture shift that's actually happening here in the industry. I had the pleasure of attending the Volume Student Music Business Summit hosted by Jump Global. And if I may just say, the amount of enthusiasm and energy about supporting the next generation was palpable. If you're not following this organization, I highly suggest that you do so. It was filled with college students from all across the country, and some even from across various countries, all working together and networking in order to create a better future for themselves and connecting with mentors, offering really great advice on what it is that they should be doing right now in order to pursue the industry. And the themes of teamwork and adaptability were prevalent in almost every single conversation that I heard. These are the sort of conversations that we love to hear because they exemplify exactly how important it is for our industry to move forward by building community. So on behalf of NCEG, I want to encourage every single one of you to get involved with this movement. For all the students out there, Don't sit on the sidelines. Don't think that you need to wait until after graduation to get started. You can get started right now. And for those of you looking to support us and support these students in their journey, help us expand to more schools by texting NCEG to 53555. Once again, I want to give a special thanks to our partners at Rolling Out. We look forward to utilizing this platform to not just get the stories of the new generation coming up, but also to hear directly from the OGs of the game, to be able to invite them on this platform to talk about who it is that they're checking for and what changes are we seeing in the music industry that really are going to define and shape how we find and discover the next generation of superstars. Make sure you stay tapped in by visiting rollingout.com. We're just getting started, and we can consider this the countdown to Hell Week. Next week, we'll be announcing the artists that each of these teams has chosen and taking a deep dive into their stats and what sort of music that they're making. So I've been Prez, and this has been The Process, where we turn college creativity into career currency. We'll see you next week.